2. Pearl took off her lab coat and tied it around her waist. After a boost from Metalmouth, Ben and Pearl stood on the rain dragon's upper lip, right in front of her snout. Ben had expected steam to seep out of the cave-sized nostrils, but her breath was cool. It felt like air conditioning. Ben raised his arms and let it waft over his body. Pearl sighed. "That feels so good," she said. The skin between the nostrils was creased, so it formed little steps. They walked up the nose, then stood on the crest, looking up at the forehead. Luckily, the slope was gradual and the terrain remained rutted, making it easy to grip, even for Pearl's pink slippers. The rain dragon's eyes were still closed, each eyelash as thick as rope. "We're walking on a dragon's face," Pearl whispered. "I bet you've never made up a story this good." He hadn't. The whole day had been the most amazing story ever. A goat lady, a tornado, and not one but 2 dragons. If the portal reappeared with Dr. Wu inside, then it would be a happy ending. But if they never saw the portal again, that was a story Ben didn't want to tell. When they reached the dragon's brow, they took a quick look around. The desert stretched on and on as far as they could see. It appeared they were all alone. No hunters, no poachers, no portal. Ben waved at Metalmouth. Metalmouth waved back. After a bit more climbing, Pearl and Ben rushed over to the hole. It was the size of a plastic kiddie's swimming pool. Green blood bubbled up and out, too hot to touch. Ben uncorked the bottle of wound glue. He hesitated. "Do you think we're doing the right thing?" he asked. They'd had 0 medical training. They didn't even know if this particular dragon had allergies to medication. Pearl patted Ben's shoulder. "Go ahead." Metalmouth said it worked for him. Ben held out his arm and poured until the bottle was empty. The green puddle sizzled and popped, then stopped moving. A dark film began to form, just like the skin on cooked pudding. In a matter of seconds, the wound had sealed and the bleeding had stopped. "Yay!" Pearl cheered. She hugged Ben. "I knew we could do it." Ben smiled. Yes, they'd done it. His face flushed with pride. But what would happen next? They peered over the crest of the dragon's brow. Her eyes were still closed. "Why isn't she waking up?" Pearl asked. "We stopped the bleeding." But the rain dragon lay perfectly still. Shouldn't she be doing something, like making rain? They both glanced up at the sky. The sun was shining. No clouds had appeared. "Is she still breathing?" Ben asked. They slid down her nose. Pearl stood in front of a nostril, but her hair didn't billow, nor did her basketball shorts ripple. "I can barely feel her breath," she said. "She's still alive. But do you think—" She spun around and looked at Ben, her eyes wide with fear. "Do you think we're too late?" It was a very sad thought indeed. They'd freed her paw, they'd closed her wound, but if the rain dragon had lost too much blood, what else could they do? "Look!" Pearl grabbed Ben's arm and pointed. "What's that?" Shielding his eyes with his hands, Ben squinted toward the horizon. Something was out there. Because the sun had dropped lower in the sky, Ben couldn't get a good look at the shape. But whatever it was definitely moving toward them. Was the poacher coming back? "Crud," Ben mumbled.